music, stories, and more. You're listening to Artbeat Radio, a program by Able Arts Work.
My name is Brian Corder, and I'm 64 years old.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I'm Alex Barone, and I'm 35 years old.
How nervous are you, or you're not very nervous?
Nervous? I mean, sometimes I get nervous in person with things. Like if it's an audition on tape, I don't get nervous. But in the room with people, sometimes I get nervous. But
Really?
I feel lucid with you. I feel good. You guys are comfortable.
Thank you. Where did you go to school?
Where did I go? Well, I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. So I went to like primary, elementary, high school there. And then I did community college in Baltimore. And then after that, I went down to Jupiter, Florida to study at Burt Reynolds Acting Institute, which was fun. And that was all the school I did.
Was it really named after the actor Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, it was his place.
You mean Smokey and the Bandit?
Mm-hmm, that's the one. He would come in sometimes, and he would hang out with the students. He's a good guy. But he passed. I think they still run the institute, but it's like his close friends that are the instructors there. So I think they still keep it going. Yeah. I haven't been in like 14 years though.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh. Whoa.
A television show.
Or what?
Or
television
TV
show?
Yeah.
I grew up watching I really like Goodfellas growing up. It was one of my favorite films. I would watch it over and over and over and over. But comedy, I could watch Dumb and Dumber or anything. The Farrelly Brothers. You know what? I have a really dark, I think, like I like dark movies, like basketball movies that are kind of about like mental health and drugs and all that. I kind of grew up with my biological father was on a lot of that stuff, and I didn't know him, so it was a way for me to kind of connect with him, I think. So I really like dark stuff. What about you?
Well, I'm not pretty much anything. I mean, from westerns to comedies to dramas, TV and movies combined. But I like to watch these NCIS, NCIS, and the sequels, Miami and New York.
There's a lot, and there's a new one now, right? Origins.
Yeah, they have so many NCISs and CSIs that I can't keep them together.
Yeah.
They one together in my head.
There's a lot, and there's like 20-something seasons of each one, right?
Yeah?
It's a lot. I have a buddy, his name's Kurt Yeager. He's actually a leg amputee, and he's been in every NCIS.
Oh, yeah?
He's a different character, yeah.
What is your favorite go-to karaoke song?
It's been a minute since I've done karaoke. But the last time I did it, I did Misery Business by Paramore. That was fun. I do a lot of 90s. Sometimes I'll whip out some Alanis Morissette, surprise people. Some Darius Rucker, some country if I'm at a country place in Nashville a couple weeks ago.
Well, if you don't mind, I do country. I listen to a lot of country music, and I'll tell you why. To me, country tells the story from beginning, middle to the end.
I like country music for that reason. It's usually feel good, right?
Yeah?
What's your favorite song? Country song? You do Willie
I
Nelson?
like Tim McGraw, Darius Rucker, from when he was Hootie, of Hootie and the Blowfish, and I like Nuke Bryan, I like Brad Paisley.
All the big dogs. Have you been in Nashville?
No?
It's fun. Almost every bar you go into, they're playing live music with one of those guys.
But I've always wanted to get that is my number one dream of going to Nashville.
Yeah? I think you'd like it. They have really good food, really good music, really good people. Because everyone's happy. Everybody's there, like, visiting and listening to music and dancing. So everybody's in a good mood. I got these boots there a couple weeks ago. Got my country boots.
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I was not prepared for these really good questions. I'm in between Mediterranean and sushi. If it was one for the rest of my life, what would cover all the pyramid of things? I think I would do sushi. But if I wanted to kind of be a fatty, fettuccine alfredo.
Yum.
What about you?
Now I'm stuck between two. Pizza, pepperoni, and cheeseburgers. I said that because that Jimmy Buffett coming out in me. He had a song called Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
Yeah, I like mine with lettuce and tomato.
Yeah? Well, Jimmy Buffett had a restaurant, and his restaurant named after his head Margaritaville.
Yeah. It's good, right?
Yeah?
I think they have them. Don't they have a lot of them in airports?
Yeah.
I feel like I see a lot in airports. It's good? Good margaritas?
Yeah?
Okay.
I love the margarita with the salt around the rim. How did you get your start in acting?
I got my start in acting in high school. My buddy and I would make like a lot of homemade movies and kind of reenact scenes, almost like a parody. Like we would take really serious movies like The Secret Window, and we would reenact it and make a comedy parody out of it. And then also because I had a lot of surgeries growing up, at the same time I was doing theater as a random elective in high school and felt like it was a good kind of escape from any insecurities I had at the time, and kind of was able to put myself in different shoes and feel more confident. So I started sort of doing theater, but I don't think I'm a very theatrical like theater guy. I didn't like it as much as on-camera stuff, so I just pursued acting for TV and film instead.
What theater have you done?
Theater? I did the early beginnings. I did West Side Story.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I played.
One of my favorite all-time movies, West Side Story, I like.
Yeah.
South Pacific, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Oklahoma. And the original West Side Story is your favorite? Yeah, I didn't see the new one. I didn't see.
Oh, and the rest of the Falls.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have said that as my favorite movie. We all saw that growing up.
Yeah, with Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion heading up the yellow brick road. What has been your favorite acting project?
My favorite was last year I did the show called Mayans. It was a spin-off of Sons of Anarchy motorcycle show. And I got to play the new guy in the group in the motorcycle club. And that was really fun because it was the longest job I had, like the most consistent for the whole season. And also I made a lot of like really close friends from the show. So it's just nice to be, meeting new people, consistently working every day with them. And the set was 10 minutes from my house. So that was really nice in LA.
That 10 minutes? That was That's convenient.
Very, very. Yeah, they filmed most of it in Santa Clarita Studios, and I'm only 10 minutes from there. And I learned how to ride motorcycles a little bit and made a lot of cool friends and connections. And it was like a likable character.
Oh, speaking of motorcycles, do you have any antique cars?
My car is a 2001 Mercedes-Benz CLK 320, so I guess some would consider it antique. It's got a lot of miles, but she's good.
I wonder if you know why I asked you, because my dad had two antique cars. One 1926 Deep Wagon, which he used for storage later in his life, and a 1964 red Chevy Convertible.
Have you been in it? Either of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool cars.
I rode in it in the parade.
Oh, cool. They do a parade in Torrance?
Yeah.
Every year?
Right down Torrance Boulevard.
That's cool.
What if your dream acting project?
You know, I think it would be, I've started to write a lot because I feel like you have to kind of do everything now. So I've written a lot of my own things and parts that I would love to get made. But if the acting gods were like, if you could play one dream role, what would it be? I think because I was born with three fingers in both hands, I always wanted to be the Nightcrawler from, the X-Men. He's like the blue guy, Kurt Wagner.
Yeah,
And he's like, I feel like I could be him. So, I'm putting that out there.
Yeah, I've seen those movies.
Mm-hmm. But he hasn't had his own, story or anything yet. They have had him in the movies, but I don't think a lot of people know his backstory. So I think that would be really cool. If you were to be in a movie, a Western?
I would like to be the leading man in a romantic movie.
Like a George Clooney.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like George Clooney or maybe Richard Gere and Pretty Woman.
Yeah. You just want some kissing scenes, huh? That's cool. That's cool.
What do you wish people knew about acting?
I guess what I wish friends and family knew that aren't in it is like how I think people think success is like straight up, but it's like it's down and up. It's high when it's high, and then when it's low, it could be quiet for a long time. So I think the grind of it is only something, if you're in it, you really understand and know that you're going to have a couple dry spells and it's going to be really busy and you're going to pop and then dry and then, or, like if I go back to Baltimore, everyone's like, why don't you just hit up George Clooney and ask him for a part? You're like, what? Can't. But I know a guy who could. Just, but that applies to everything, I think, not just acting. Any career has the longevity of the entertainment industry. It's a long game. It's like golf.
Is there much stress in the acting profession?
Stress?
Yeah.
Maybe just memorizing your lines. That could be stressful, right?
Yeah.
You got a few pages, and you can't mess up. So I guess that could be stressful. But it's also sales, right? So when you're working, it's really nice. When you're not working and you're waiting for the next thing, you're like, what's coming? So maybe that could be stressful. That's why it's good to do a lot of things and not just maybe one thing.
Well, I'd like to thank you for the interview. And I want to thank you for the cup that matches.
Wow, that's thought out. You guys are pros.
How did you think of that?
My name is Doug Calhoun.
Nice to meet you, Doug.
what about you to write a children's book?
Well, because I grew up a little different, right? I grew up with fibular hemimelia, so it means I had 3 fingers in both hands, missing a couple digits, and then without the fibula bone in my right leg. So because of that, as a kid, I had a lot of surgeries. I had like 40 something growing up, and I spent a lot of time sort of on the sidelines of school and class and recess and all that, and got to watch all the other kids play. And I think at that time growing up, I was always afraid to be different. I was afraid to not fit in, and I wanted to fit in. But then as I became an adult, especially entering into the acting entertainment world, being different makes you stand out. And I started feeling more confident and comfortable being different, and I wanted to be different. Also, about 10 years ago, I started working for this camp called Camp No Limits, and it's for kids with limb differences like myself. So I went there 10 years ago. I fell in love with it. Now I travel to all the different camps across the country that we have, and I sort of get to be the role model that I wish I had growing up at this camp. But there was no camp like this when I was a kid. So at these camps, it's like a regular, you're wearing a Camp Oak shirt, I'm sure you know, but it was like a regular summer camp. But we would do talent shows, and we would do physical therapy, occupational therapy.
You would be yourself.
Be yourself, yeah. Yeah, so I felt better being myself.
You can if you be yourself, you can know what to do.
I think there's a lot of power to just being yourself. So yeah, that's where the book idea came from, was this camp, because we do a talent show there, and it's specifically all kids and adults like myself with limb difference doing it. I wanted to write something where this group of friends that are all a little different in their own way put on a talent show for the school using their differences, and then everybody else, the bullies, the teachers, everybody else wants to then be different too.
It kind of good to get it out.
Yeah.
Because people have disability
Right.
you don't know about.
It's true. Yeah, you never know what someone's got going on, right?
Maybe you have problems we don't know about. Maybe I have problems you don't know about either.
Right.
If we have to get it out so people can help you.
Sure. And so you can make a difference, right? You can impact somebody else.
Yeah. I like helping people.
I can tell. I think it's really cool what you guys do with this podcast. I think this helps people.
Yeah, the whole saying it, working with people. Do you have any challenges writing a book?
I did have a few challenges writing the book. One, I came up with the idea like 5 years ago, and then I drew the stuff myself at first, and it looked way different than it does now. But I drew the idea because I didn't know how to see out the whole book without sort of drawing it, and I'm not like a good drawer. So they're like stick figure little guys. So I think that, and then life got busy, and I was a little bit lazy, and I kept putting it off. And then this year, finally, I had went through something like a relationship thing, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta just do this thing I've been pushing off for so long. And so the first challenge was, I guess, just getting to it and doing it all, finding an illustrator that I liked, getting it exactly how I pictured it, finding somebody to help me with the story, because specifically for kids between 3 and 8, I think you have to have a specific storyline so they can follow it and understand it. So just having somebody like a professional sort of help me with that, and then deciding whether or not to self-publish, which I did, or go through a publishing house. And I think just for the sake of not wanting to take up more time and just get it going and do my own thing, I just did it myself. So there was a few challenges, but now I'm learning as I go, and it's been a lot of fun.
You got to take a shower once in a while.
Yeah. I am planning to write other books. I want to make this Buddy Mooney series. I want to do like 4 or 5 of them. So the same group of people, the same Buddy Mooney guy, this little guy, and his group. But the next book I'm working on, they are going to go to his planet and see what kind of differences are there versus Earth. So I already got the next one ready to go in my head. I just have to do it.
Get out of people.
I got to.
That gets a little hard.
It is.
You can think about it, but it's hard to write it down.
It is, yeah.
Same with me. I can't write good. I can talk good, but my writing, I need help with writing.
Do you get distracted easily? Sometimes when I sit down to write, I get too distracted by everything else happening. So I need like quiet space and no distractions.
I need somebody I can say what I want, and that somebody can write for me. Do you have any advice from authors?
I do have advice for authors. I think if, kind of like what we were just talking about, if you have an idea, I think it's so easy to get distracted and to put it off. And like you just said, just putting it down is the number one step, even if you're drawing it yourself and silly stick figures, just to get the idea out on paper and maybe take things step by step so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. But I would say just do it. Don't put it off, because life happens, right? And it keeps moving fast, so just doing it is the hard part.
Life moves so fast.
Yeah.
You can't know. It's always afternoon.
Yeah.
Where did the morning go so fast? I feel like it goes too fast.
Yeah.
I think it goes by faster when we have fun. If there's anything else you want to say about it?
No, I'm grateful to be here and hang out with you guys. Maybe you can show me around Long Beach sometime, since I've never been.
Thank you for coming, and I hope you come back.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been awesome.
You're welcome. Come back anytime.
I will.
I hope you enjoyed this installment of Artbeat Radio. For more information, please go to our website, ableartwork.org. Thank you for